DonnyFL. Today I'm going to be adding a DonnyFL suppressor to this Walther Rain, is what this one is called. It's a 25 caliber, but it's a odd process in order to get this suppressor off. So what the factory does, when they get these on there, there's a lock ring inside the threads here. It already has a 1/2x20 thread. So what happens, you can turn the suppressor, but once it stops there, that's all you're gonna get. And that's just because of the lock ring they put in there. So there's a process that I gotta do in order to get that off. And that involves taking the whole gun apart and taking the barrel out. So we're gonna go ahead and start on that process of dismantling the whole chassis on here, and we'll take you through the steps on what it takes on how to do it on this gun. What we're gonna need first, there's a bunch of screws all over the place right here. They're all Torx screws, they're T10. You see there, it's a T10 screwdriver. So pretty much what we're gonna do is we're just gonna remove all these screws on there. Alright guys, so as you can see now, I flipped the gun over. I took all the screws out on the other side. There is a few other screws on this side, and this is what actually hangs on to the action of the Walther Rain as well. So the additional screws are here and here, and here's another screw here, and these are metric screws. These are 2.5 M3 screws, so you need a 2.5 millimeter Allen for that. So for that one, and these two are the same screws. So once you get those, there is a couple of screws up here as well that we need to get rid of. And if I remember correctly, these are M3 hex keys on here, so I'll use that. So yeah, 3 millimeter Allen driver on that. And now we got that off. I'm gonna set them off to the side. Just pops right off. All right, so now gotta make sure the gun is fully degassed, no air at all in the system. This is a brand new gun. It hasn't been aired up, so we're good on that. So now we're just gonna open this up. We're gonna start splitting open the clamshell. All right. So in order to get this off, you gotta tilt the gun sideways, and it slides right out. That's half of that shell there. As you can see, it's a very basic gun. On the inside, you got your air bottle, you got a linkage for your trigger for the back. Same thing, you got a plate for your cocking mechanism that goes all the way to the back. It's a fairly simple setup. So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna pull this whole inside out. Pull that out. I'm gonna put these off to the side. In a little while, I'll run you guys over on how you can change this cocking lever to the left side for you lefties out there. All right, so what we're gonna do now, we need to get this barrel out. So there's a couple of pins right back here. So these pins here, they're just in there very softly. They can be pressed out easily. The first gun I did was actually fairly easy to push them out, so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna loosen this up a little. Let's see. That should be it. Oh, yeah, those are on there pretty good. All right. There we go. We got those pins out. Set them off to the side, make sure you don't lose them. So what those pins do is what actually holds the barrel in place. So we're gonna go ahead and slide this barrel out. Sorry guys, I forgot there's other set screws in here. And these are 2.5 millimeter set screws in here. And they are very tight. Alright guys, so There's 2 set screws that are in here. The first gun that I did didn't have the Loctite in them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be heating up these 2 items up here where the set screws are, just to loosen up the Loctite a little tiny bit. You can see it in there and there. So we're gonna go ahead and warm this up a little, loosen up that Loctite right here. I got a torch, so we're just gonna heat this up a little. Let's see if that got enough heat in there. We're gonna try this again, and there you go, it's moving out. You see that white stuff coming out? That's the Loctite that got burnt out. You can see that there. Looks like I need a little more heat on the back side, so we're gonna add more heat back here. Alright, I think that might be good enough. There we go. That's coming out nicely. And again, you can see the Loctite that just got burnt out of there coming out. Set this off to the side. We'll clean off that burnt Loctite off once we assemble everything. There. And we'll put blue Loctite when we assemble it, just to keep everything nice and snug together. Alright, so now we got that out, we should be able to, that is still hot, so we'll just not touch that. So there we go, now we see that barrel slid right out. You can tell here, there's 2 flat spots on the barrel, which is a real nice touch that they do. Keeps the barrel from shifting around and rotating on you while it's installed. It's a really nice setup that I like on that. Alright, so we're gonna set this off to the side. Just remember, it's still hot. If you see anyone around it, tell them don't touch. Let it cool down. I'll use that so it doesn't melt our mat here. Alright, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go put this right here on our vise. We're gonna melt all this right here. So in order to get this off, I gotta melt this whole plastic shroud. It's not gonna be salvageable at all. So we gotta get this off just to get this metal piece back here exposed so I can put this on the lathe. So we're gonna go ahead and start doing that as well. So I'm gonna go right over here, bring this along with me. I'm doing a flat tip screwdriver. Excuse the mess here, guys. This is just to help us hold everything together so we don't have to touch it while it's hot or support it. So I'm just gonna melt the bottom sides here and separate this top piece. Once I get this top piece separated, I'll be able to slide that top half off. So we got that piece, 4 more sides to go. rotate this a little more. Just get that front side. And one thing, tip, if you guys decide to try this at home, keep the flame a little bit farther out. If you put it too close, it'll catch on fire. So if you keep it back here, you just get the heat, but you won't get any of the flame. You see, if I go closer, it burns up right away. So, yeah. All right. All right, so there we go. Got this top piece off. It's a little warm. Grab some gloves right over here. These gloves are donated by Markeith. Thank you, sir. Alright. Put this somewhere where no one's gonna touch it. Don't touch it. Alright. So now, we gotta heat this up so we can get this whole plastic piece off. I can throw this onto the lathe and machine it with it on, but it just makes more of a mess. So we're just gonna try to take as much plastic off so we don't have to deal with the plastic on the lathe. We got a nice little notch burnt through. I'm gonna melt the inside and I should be able to open it up. There we go. There you go. So yeah, that's pretty much what's holding that whole top piece together, but there is a lip right here. If you guys can tell, that's actually what's holding onto this thing, which makes it really difficult to remove without heating it up. So we're gonna go ahead and take this out of the vise, and now we're gonna take this over to the lathe. We're gonna machine this all the way down until we barely get to the barrel side, and then we'll be able to remove that lock ring and thread the rest of it out. So I'm going right over here, guys. Safety first, gotta get my safety glasses. Should have actually put these on in the beginning with that torch. So, safety. Alright, let's start on this. See, I just saw. Let me grab some gloves again. I'll be back. Sorry. We'll do a couple more passes on there. Now I got it. So you guys see, that's where that lock ring is at right there. So now that this back piece is free, you see me move that back and forth. Now I can grab some pliers and move this out of the way. So we got that piece off. Now we gotta get this lock ring off. Get in there with the lathe and machine it out. I'm gonna switch over to this here. It's not an easy process on this. Humorex, if you're hearing, don't put that lock ring in there. It makes my job harder. So what I'm gonna do, since that's being a little difficult, I'm gonna go get the Dremel with a cutoff wheel, and I'm just gonna slice that outer ring on there, and that should be able to slide it right out. Hang tight, guys. All right, guys, got our Dremel here. Got a cutoff wheel on there. I definitely recommend wearing safety glasses with this. As you can tell, even with the lathe, it was throwing a lot of stuff down. But with this, it's going to be throwing sparks, and it's going to be very small pieces. So please wear your safety glasses. Here, guys, this piece right here, that's that ring that they stick in there. So what happens when they thread it on, it expands and it locks it into place once it's in there. So we're gonna just shave this completely flush all the way to the flat side on that barrel there. Switch this over. Now we should be able to slide this piece out. And there we go. That's the end of that. So now We got a nice thread on there. There's nothing in the way. We can thread on any suppressor we want. So what I'm gonna end up putting on this, we're gonna put a coil on there, and we're gonna go with a cap option on there. But as you can see, I mean, a little issue threading on this. So I'm gonna machine this back piece a little more, and I'm gonna go a little bit farther on that. I'm actually gonna machine the inside of the back threads so it actually slides over the barrel nice and snug, so it looks factory on there. So we're gonna take it up a notch on that. So first, let's get this machine flat down a little more. There you go. Now it's all the way flush. So like I said, we're going to be machining this adapter here for the rear cap on the koi, so it actually slides over the barrel so it looks factory. We're going to have plenty of thread, so this actually is going in about right there is where it's at. So if I can machine it a little more to go deeper to there, I'm going to have probably about 1/4 inch of that sliding over the barrel itself, and that's going to be nice and tight with that as well. So now that I'm done with the barrel, I'm gonna go ahead and pull that out. This, I lose a lot of things all the time. Alright, so there's that barrel. We're gonna put this over here. We're gonna set it down. Come back over here. Let me go grab a new one of these. I'll be right back. Let's start this up again. Let's clean up these edges. Should be good from there on. Alright. So that looks really good. Better than the first one I made and messed up. Alright. Let's try this again. Look at that, perfect. You see how flush that is with that in there? You see how close we got it there, so it's actually pretty good.